Let's face it, we all love a good underdog story. The team or player with the longest odds going against everything and coming out on top. It was the essential rallying cry of the 80s. But who were the biggest Davids in the fight with Goliaths? Well, today on It's All Viral, we're going to talk about the 10 greatest upsets in sports history. You know UConn basketball? No, I'm not talking about the women's team because they're anything but underdogs. I'm talking about the 2014 men's basketball team, led by now Orlando Magic guard Shabazz Napier. They were banned from postseason play a season earlier and had to deal with a new conference along with being seeded 7th in the Big Dance. But from an overtime win over 9th seed St. John's, they rallied their way to the Final Four where they beat Florida, one of the favorites in the tournament, before capping out their championship run over Kentucky. It was an amazing season. That dirty water in Boston tasted pretty sweet after the Red Sox, down 3-0 in the American League Championship Series with 120-1 odds, came back to defeat the Yankees and win the World Series afterwards. Not only was this huge in terms of odds in the moment, this title would prove to be the first World Series title for the Sox in almost 90 years, thanks to the curse of the Bambino. In college football, an FBS team is usually who you see competing in the bowl games, while the FCS is sort of like the league below them, especially in player quality. So, in 2007, when Appalachian State, a rando FCS squad at the time, went to play Michigan, a historic college football franchise, at the Big House in Ann Arbor, nobody expected the Mountaineers to even lose by less than 27 points, let alone win. But then, the Wolverines suddenly looked like they were declawed on the field, and a 34-32 win by the Mountaineers sealed one of the greatest college upsets in modern history. Upset was given 100-1 odds at the Sanford Memorial Stakes, one of the biggest races at the time. And sure enough, this horse lived up to its name and beat competitors who had never lost a race in their entire career. Almost $100 million in payroll separated the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox in 2008, with the Rays being down about $150 million to the New York Yankees as well. With a team of budget ballers and 300-1 odds to win the World Series, the Rays took down the Sox in a wild card series and the Yankees in the American League Championship Series before sealing the greatest prize in baseball against the Phillies in an October miracle. David Tyree, a name so hated in Boston that the mere mention of it brings flashbacks of the 2007 Patriots season. With one game away from perfection, the New England Patriots under Tom Brady were one helmet catch away from securing the first perfect season since the 1972 Miami Dolphins under Dan Marino himself. But unfortunately for them, Eli Manning threw a pass that was barely held onto by Tyree, securing the game-winning drive for the New York Giants. Iron Mike Tyson was one of the most feared fighters in boxing. Long before he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear in their second bout in 1997, he was 37-0 going into the Tokyo Dome on February 11, 1990. So, when Buster Douglas was set to face Mr. Punch-Out himself, he was given 44-1 odds and a string of bad luck. His mother died a few weeks before the fight, the mother of his son had kidney issues, and Buster himself had the flu a day before his fight was scheduled. Nevertheless, in the 10th round, Tyson went down from 4 consecutive headshots, and Buster Douglas was the first man to have knocked out Mike Tyson. With 15 games left in the 2011 MLB season, the St. Louis Cardinals were trailing the Atlanta Braves by 4.5 games for one of the last spots in the playoffs. At this point, bookmakers put the odds of St. Louis not only getting into the playoffs, but winning the World Series. And sure enough, the Cardinals won 11 of those 15 games while the Braves had a 5-game collapse, sealing the deal for St. Louis. From there, they made it all the way to the championship series with a monster Texas Rangers team, who was only 1 out away from sealing a championship in Game 6. But the Cardinals fought back, forced a Game 7, and the rest is history. Now for the United States, this is the greatest underdog story, the Miracle on Ice. The USSR team back in the 1980s was the most dominant force on the ice. Made up of fully professional and experienced players, they were set to face what people considered to be a bunch of scrubs and nobodies at the time. However, in Lake Placid, New York, the Americans beat the Soviets 4-3 in what was a rink version of the Cold War. and wound up being the story behind the hit film Miracle. 5,000 to 1 odds. A team that was barely on the cusp of relegation and started from the depths of a ruthless system. Now the champions of one of the most competitive leagues in the world. This is the story of Leicester City, which has to take our #1 spot. Their best striker, Jamie Vardy, was playing 8th tier. As in semi-pro and amateur level soccer, earning around $35 a week back in 2008. And just to think, this fairy tale story all started with a massive gangbang scandal in Thailand. But more on that for another video. But there we go guys, that's it for our list of 10 of the biggest upsets in sports history. Know of any great inspirational sports upsets of your own? Be sure to let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe for more great content. But alright, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one.